Hi guys, welcome to Movie Reviews with Fee, and today we're going to be reviewing The Fire Inside. I just watched this movie today, Christmas Day. Me and my little cousin went to the movies in the hood. You'll find out more about that later, that experience. But the movie stars Ryan Destiny of the Fox TV show Star fame and Brian Tyree Henry. And you may know him from the FX show, or is it Hulu or FX? Atlanta. So Ryan Destiny plays Clarissa Shields, who is arguably the best female fighter to ever do it. She won the gold for the USA back-to-back and in boxing. Spoiler alert, but that's why there's a movie about her, okay? And Brian Tyree Henry, he plays Jason Crutchfield, who is a volunteer boxing coach at a gym in Flint, Michigan. And so Ryan, when she's just about 11, she frequents the gym because she wants to fight. And he's like, oh, we don't train girl fighters, but he lets her spar with one of the coaches, you know, to just encourage her. But one day this little kid was taunting her. So to teach him a lesson, he lets her get in the ring. She kind of gets, you know, her behind handed to her, so he decides to coach her up, and then she beats this kid's butt who they later, you know, fall in love, because that's what we do in the movies. We fall in love with our enemies. But it was a good movie. It didn't follow the traditional flow. We do get a glimpse into the poverty in which she is raised, and also her mother. I mean, they don't come out and say she's like on drugs or anything, but her behavior, she wasn't child focused, you know, she's more man focused. And, you know, we learned that some things happened to Clarissa when she was a child, you know, and that lends itself to that spark, that fire inside of her, why she was so driven and able to train at that level, given all of the lack that she lived in. So we see her struggle to train. We see her struggle to be able to qualify, and she finally makes it. And her coach is also living in poverty, so he can't really afford to go with her to certain things. And we see how that she struggles emotionally with the isolation. And there's this critical scene where Jason, the trainer, is like, look, it's just you and this gold medal. You got to cut out all the noise. Your mama, your pregnant little sister, your brother getting in trouble at school, me, everything. It's just you in that ring. And I won't spoil any more of it for you. I'm just going to say watch it, but it's just one of those stories about the human spirit and what drives us, especially those of us who come from, you know, those poverty backgrounds. I mean, to keep it 100, and you don't have all the accoutrements of someone who maybe is upper middle class, who can hire the best trainers, who can eat the best food. I mean, she was pretty much starving. Her mom bought them Captain Crunch and they didn't have milk, you know, that kind of deal. And there's this instance where she punches this guy who, her mom's having this party, and he's trying to make her dance with him, this old crusty looking dude. So she knocks him out, and the mom is just like, get out my house. You know, I mean, I've seen, that never happened to me, thank God, but I've just seen that story so many times growing up, and I've heard it from other women. And I'm a Black woman, so that's my experience. So I'm not saying it didn't happen to other women, but the women who've confided in me, they have been Black women. And my mom was always for her kids, and that was the advice I always gave other people. But that I've witnessed the fact that not every mother responds that way. Some respond like Clarissa's mom, and they kick the child out whenever there's a conflict between their man and their child. So just to see her overcome like the focus it takes, the the will and how her coach was able to get her over the humps. Because there's something that I saw this on Oprah before, like when and she said something to the fact, when you come from like poverty, it's like one shot, right? If you are someone of means, you can have failure after failure after failure, somebody to bail you out. You know, people are so willing to give you second chances, but there's this feeling of it's just one shot, it's just me. And so we see how her community pours into her because they believe in what she's doing. And they also understand that sometimes you just get that one shot. So even though there's this really gentle young guy, the guy who she, beat up, who ends up becoming like her boyfriend throughout high school, we even see where, they have a little conflict because she has to choose between staying in Flint and being in love with him and following her dreams. And her coach is like, look, you may think you want this, but there's a fire inside you and it won't be enough. And we see that it's not enough. And that journey, how the movie shot is beautiful. It's like a rose in the concrete, right? There's a, what is it? I think that's the name of the song, like concrete, a rose in the concrete, a rose in Harlem or something. I don't know. But anyway, the lyrics have something about a rose coming out of the concrete. And then you see Flint, Michigan, and you see these dilapidated houses. You see these vacant businesses. And you visually see the poverty, but then there'll be like this shot of beautiful flowers like growing. Then the background will fade away and you'll just see the sunshine and the flowers. So that there is beauty, there's talent, there are all these things, these good people who just happen to be born in a state of poverty. And if given that shot, they could really, shine, not just for themselves, but for their country. So yeah, that was my takeaway. I think Ryan Destiny knocked it out of the park as Clarissa. And I hope you watch it and then come back here and let me know what you think or thought about it. Thank you. Oh, so we're in the hood. These two old ladies sit in the row behind me and my cousin, and I kid you not, they were talking like they were on their couch in the living room, loud. And she just kept saying everything that we could clearly see on the screen. So I was torn between telling her to zip it and respecting my elders, but I chose to respect my elders. But it was just like, there's this scene where Clarissa's putting on like lipstick because she's all rough and tough, and so she's trying to like glam it up a little bit. She's like, oh, she's putting on makeup. Like, girl, we can see she putting on makeup. We're in the movies too. But anyway, we're not going to that theater ever again. Bye.